Alrighty guys, Chippey12 here with the first of my weekly cube drafts on CubeTutor.com. So for this one I'm going to be doing my own cube, and here we can see the list of all the cards in it. And let's just get started with it. We're going to randomize it one more time. And you can find this on CubeTutor.com. Keep messing that up. And you can go ahead and draft it if you'd like to, and leave a deck saved under there. So I could get some feedback on which cards are being drafted more, and it just helped me a lot in kind of building my cube and the cube process. So let's get started. I'm going to update this. And I see some pretty nice things already. We've got a Batter Skull, we got a lot of mana fixing here. Keldon Vandals to Artifact Destruction, Wolfear Silverheart's a great green creature. Mutavault, Koth, Planeswalkers are always awesome. He's probably one of the weaker ones, but if we were going something like Mono Red, he'd fit in very well. Psychotog is pretty powerful. I like to play it, especially in something like Reanimator. Pretty solid green creature and great Sable Stag. Mother of Runes is a very powerful one-drop white card. I have the feeling either that or Batter Skull might be our pick. Enlightened Tutor if we need to find something. Core Firewalker, Manland, and Phyrexian Metamorph can also copy one of our either artifacts or an opponent's sword or anything like that. So that's actually also really cool to have. And it can also be played in any color, so I feel like these are the three picks between the Phyrexian Metamorph, Mother of Runes, and Batter Skull. But we can copy the Batter Skull with the Metamorph, and obviously we can also copy the Mother of Runes, but we wouldn't be able to get as early. But I feel like the pick here is going to be the Metamorph. Grim Lavamancer, Venser the Sojourner, Cold Steel Heart, Detention Sphere, Ponder, Hinder, Huntmaster, Frost Titan, Necrotal, Blood Scrivener. Nothing sticks out to me as much. Cold Steel Heart's always good for some mana fixing. Hinder's a good counter spell. Huntmaster's a great red-green creature, and Grim Lavamancer gets us some good direct damage going on, as well as Burst Lightning. Voice of Resurgence is pretty fun to play, and Venser the Sojourner can have some great combo playability. I'm actually probably between the Huntmaster and the Venser, but I think the Huntmaster is just a much more powerful card, and if you can get it out, you can really kill stuff with it. Alright, so here we have a Grave Titan, which is very powerful. Chandra, Flagstone's Trocaire, Wall of Blossoms, Header Mage Maniac, which is a great red-green aggro card. Garruk Wildspeaker, great Planeswalker, it's more mana fixing. A Squee, Land Tax helps us get a ton of land out early. Bayou, Temple of Mystery, Wall of Reverence, and a Blood Knight. I feel like the pull here is Land Tax just because it's so powerful. If you can get it out early, you just totally overwhelm your opponent with mana, so I'm going to take that. And here we have a Jit. I feel like that's going to be the pull, unless something else sticks out to me. Sulfuric Vortex is very good for the aggro deck, but I feel like Jit beats it anyway. Cloudgut Ranger, Mystic Snake, Master. Yeah, it's going to be the Jit here. We got Elish Norn, which is just one of the most ridiculous cards ever. Soldier of the Pantheon, great aggro. Day of Judgment, also great. And Birds of Paradise is great mana fixing. Rancor, Step Links, Leon of the Dark Realms, Vampire Lacerator, Figure of Destiny. A lot of great red-white aggro stuff I'm seeing so far. And it's not being picked either. So I feel like that's the way we want to go. Although the Elish Norn really stands out to me as well, especially if we have the land tax and we can get a lot of mana out. So I think that's the pick here. We've got Chrome Mox, Reanimate Tezzeret, Mortarpod, Spellskite. I think Ewit's the pick. Thorian Dynamo, Packrat. We got Xenagos, who I've actually never gotten to play with before. He's a new arrival. Spectral Procession. Achroma is very powerful as well, although we already have a high cost, but it might not be bad to have another one. If we wanted to go with the aggro, we'd go Goblin Guide. It's better than the Cackler. Willbender. So I'd be tempted to pull Xenagos, just because I've never built a deck with it before. Although the Achroma is very powerful and the Goblin Guide is great aggro, so depends on the way we want to go. If we end up going something like white-green, we're going to probably want the Achroma if we have some um, mana ramp stuff. Unless we end up going aggro, then I'd pick the Goblin Guide. And Xenagos could fit into any deck, really, just as a finisher. Um, but I feel like if we want to build a solid deck, we're going to have to take the Goblin Guide and just go for straight aggro, because I see so much of it so far. Kiki-Jiki is ridiculous, as well as Inferno Titan. And then we have Devoted Druid, Tombstalker, Harmonize, Looter. Looter Elcor is very good, especially if we got... Well, we have the Jet already, which is pretty sweet. So we could build a nice blue control deck with that, but I mean, Kiki-Jiki is just awesome, can copy any of our creatures. And he's just so fun to play with. I'm really tempted to take him, and I will. Here we've got our original pack, and we've got the Core Firewalker, Keldon Vandals, Great Sable Stag, Wolfear Silverheart, some mana fixing here as well with these lands, although not especially in our colors so far. We don't really have any black. We could possibly be going something like Naya Aggro, in which case I might want to pick something like the Silverheart or the Sable Stag. Then we got the Firewalker, which is quite an interesting guy to play as well. If we end up having to play against any swords, Keldon Vandals is very good, and it's a 4/1 though. So I feel like that's going to be our pull here. And then we've got a Faithless Looting, Burst Lightning is probably going to be the pick. Ponder, Hinder, Bloodscrivener, and Necrotal. I'm just seeing a lot of great aggro stuff going around, so I feel like if we can get Burst Lightning out kicked, it can really bring the game to our favor. And there's that Tattermunge Maniac I wanted to see come back around just because he's crazy in an aggro deck, especially if we're going red-green. Cloudgut Ranger, and we got Everflowing Chalice. But if we're going aggressive, I'd take the Cloudgut Ranger as one of our higher attackers. Step Links is going to be good if we get some fetches as well. Day of Judgment, we'd plan to kill them by then, but it'd be good to hate against. So I'm going to take the Step Links, just because it can get pretty big pretty fast. And the Temple of Abandon for mana fixing, and the Thram Dynamo is not a bad thing to pull there. Ooh, and we have a Domri Raid I see here. All is Dust, also very good. Winter Orb, oh my goodness, that would be so fun to play in this deck. Sublime Archangel, Finhorn Elves, Enclave Cryptologist, Steam Augury, Engineered Explosives would help us defeat tokens. It could be bad against us as well. Winter Orb's just so fun, especially in an aggro deck. All is Dust is very good as well as Domri Raid, but I really feel like the pick would have to be Winter Orb just because it can kill so much and let us get so much through. We got a Boros Charm and Balance. Balance could save us if the game's not going in our favor. Shumkirk Noble isn't one of my favorite red 1-drops, and Student of Warfare is a pretty decent white 1-drop. We've got a Jackal Pup here. That's the wrong one in here, by the way. It should be the Fire and Lightning one. It's also a great aggro card. Boros Charm can be a bit hard to play, but it works well. I feel like just in case we need some kind of thing to help us out, I'm going to take the Balance. Just because if the game's not going in our favor, it's going to be one of the only things that can save us. We've got a Lightning Bolt, Pyrowild Shaman, Get to Encampment. Kitchen Finks is sweet. Although it's gain life, and we don't necessarily need to do that, but it is a 3/2 with a flexible color cost. Blade Splicer is another pretty sweet card. Ratchet Bomb. Oh my goodness, we have Kiki-Jiki Pestermite, but I don't think we'll be playing it because we've already started building around aggro. Unfortunately, because that is just the most ridiculous combo if you can get it to work, and you win automatically. We got a Pyrowild Shaman, which is pretty sweet as well, but I don't think it's going to be our pick. It could be Lightning Bolt, maybe Blade Splicer, just because you get 2 creatures for 1, and 1 is a 3/3 first strike. But I feel like the direct damage is the way we have to go here. Temple of Triumph fits into our colors. We have a Johnny Goldmane. That's pretty nice just because of the second ability where we can put a +1/+1 counter on each creature, especially if a lot out, and give them vigilance. Flames of the Firebrand, some nice direct damage, as well as Magma Jet. Temple of Triumph is nice mana fixing. Core Sanctifiers I don't think is necessary. We've already got one kind of artifact destruction, and it's not all that big of a creature for its 3 cost. So it's gonna be between some of the ones up here. And I'm gonna have to say between I think it's the Flames of the Firebrand. And we have Bone Splitters, very good, as well as Hero Bladehold's a ridiculous creature, just pumps out a ton. And Thalia is a great white aggro card, and Arc Trail. Swords to Plowshares is good removal. I feel like Hero Bladehold can just win the game for us if we already have a lot of creatures out. Just gets out more and pumps them, so that's going to be the pull here. Plated Geopede's pretty sweet red attacker that can get pretty big. We got a Forked Bolt as well and a Spine Rock Null. I don't think we're going to have to wait too long for that to happen, but I don't think we're expecting the game to take that long and for us to need anything that big either. So I don't think it's a Spine Rock Null, but we do have a Silverblade Paladin as well, which can give double strike to one of our guys as well as himself. And I think he's going to be the pull because I've played him before and he can be ridiculous. Stormblood Berserker, Bituminous Blast, Armada Worm is probably too high costed for what we're going for. I'm going to go with the Stormblood Berserker here because he can be a big attacker early on. Sun Titan, a Terastodon, is a Charm, Demonic Tutor, and a Smash to Smithereens, which is pretty nice if our opponent has some artifacts out. Sun Titan is also a great card, especially because we're going to have a lot of little guys out. And they come directly back to the battlefield. I better hurry this up a bit here. It's between these two, and I'm gonna pull the Sun Titan. Llanowar Elves gets us some ramp, and the Finhorn Elves gets us ramp as well. They're basically the same thing. Engineered Explosives. Hall of the Bandit Lord is pretty nice. I wish I had pulled that Sulfuric Vortex earlier. Gives our big guys haste. I'm not sure if it's worth it because we'd already have a lot of guys, but what else do we pick here? Honestly, I don't know that we need the mana advantage as much. We've already got quite a bit. So I'm going to take the Hall of the Bandit Lord. Jackal Pup came back, and Angelic Destiny is also very good. And we don't have much 4 cost, and we've got a lot of 1-drop. So I'm going to go with the Angelic Destiny. We've got the Blade Splicer came back. I think that's it, unless it's the Get to Encampment. I think I'm going to go with the Blade Splicer. And that's awesome, but that's awesome. It's one of these, but I'd go... It's either the creature or the direct damage. They're both really good. I'm going to go with the Murderous Redcap. And then what do we not want to play against? I guess. Well, no, I wouldn't mind having them pay 4 life, so I'll just take the Go for the Throat. And the Forked Bolt and a Petrify. So that'll be it for part 1. Join us for the next one where apparently we get a Soul Ring. Hooray! Alright, see you in the next part.